Hey friends, this is Jim here with Science Talk, and want to discuss with you what's happening with Arctic vegetation and what's happening as the Arctic plants grow taller. Plants are getting taller in the Arctic high latitudes as warmer, more moist soil prompts growth that could increase the release of greenhouse gases. Well, this is interesting because you would think plants would draw down the CO2 from the atmosphere. So what's going on? Could it be that the ground's getting warmer so the net outflux of methane is greater than the drawdown of the CO2? So as the Arctic is becoming greener, warmer and leafier, as small plants that once were close to the ground, and if they hug the ground, they were able to trap the snow, insulate the roots. They've started to, to gain in stature. Okay? So they're hugging the ground, they're trapping the snow, which insulates the roots in the permafrost, and now they're starting to grow taller. It is estimated by 2100 the northernmost vegetation could have grown by up to 60% taller. European scientists, along with an international team of more than 120 biologists, reported in Nature journal that tundra plants are gaining in height and some species from farther south are advancing towards moving further north. Right? I have discussed this numerous times before in other videos where I talk about how plants are not only moving up in altitude, but also in latitude, moving further north, in latitude, moving further higher up in altitude. Their conclusion is based on more than 56,000 observations of tundra vegetation and a close survey of growth at 117 sites around the high latitudes in Alaska, Canada, Iceland, Scandinavia, and Siberia. I can tell you one of the research sites, a very important research site, is a Tulik Station, which is on the other side of Vatican Pass, and it's a wonderful facility. You have Galbraith Lake nearby. I mean, it's tundra, but the scenery is just spectacular. You can see muskox there, and it's pretty wild. But it's a major ecological research station, and they do all sorts of ecological work, looking at plant nutrition, isotopes, and you name it, they do it. It's quite the facility, and it's associated with the University of Alaska Fairbanks, but they just do spectacular work there. The increase in height we saw was not just in a few sites, but nearly everywhere, says Dr. Anne Bjorkman, who is a researcher at Germany's Senckenberg Biodiversity and Climate Research Center. If taller plants continue to spread at the current rate, the plant community height could increase by 20 to 60% by the end of the century. Wow. Her research colleague, Isla Myers-Smith of the University of Edinburgh School of Geosciences, states, while most climate change models have focused on increasing temperatures, our research has shown that soil moisture can play a much greater role in changing plant traits than we previously thought. We need to understand more about soil moisture in the Arctic. Precipitation is likely to increase in the Arctic region, but that is just one factor that affects soil moisture levels. The Arctic is, of course, one of the fastest warming places on Earth. I've shared that info with you many times. Sea ice has been in dramatic decline, and other research teams have repeatedly observed dramatic changes in the plants and animals that are found here in the Arctic. What happens to tundra vegetation matters, as a vast community of birds, insects, and mammals survive on the annual growth in the brief northern summer. Plants both respond to climate change and play a part in that change. They affect the reflectivity of the ground surface and warm the soil in ways that could release ever more greenhouse gases. This is what Dr. Myers-Smith is saying. Half of the planet's stored carbon could be trapped in the permafrost, and any escapes could only accelerate global warming. This is the first time that a biome scale study has been carried out to get to the root of the critical role that plants play in this rapidly warming part of the planet. Biome is basically a large ecosystem that covers many, many, many square kilometers, millions of square kilometers. You have an ecosystem, well then a biome is just a. So we talk about the boreal forest, that's the, that goes circumpolar, that's a major biome. Dr. Bjorkman warns, shorter plants trap more snow, which insulates the underlying soil and prevents it from freezing as quickly in winter. An increase in taller plants could speed up the thawing of this frozen carbon bank and lead to an increase in the release of greenhouse gases. So my supposition at the beginning was basically correct. Well, I'm not going to do that. But the outflux, the outgassing of methane, now possibly nitrous oxide, from the permafrost, it will be greater than what is drawn down by the plants, drawing down the CO2 to do their photosynthetic processes. So the outgassing of methane will be greater than the drawdown of CO2. So the net result is more greenhouse gases in the air, leading to more warming. That is basically what they're saying, what they're finding, and that's what they're reporting. So this is more information, but of course it is of concern. Thank you for your time. Hey folks, this is Jim here reminding you to please subscribe to my channel and please share my videos with others. Also remember to click the bell so that you know when I drop in a new video. I also ask that you please consider becoming a patron of my channel and support the work that I do by going to patreon.com/Science Talk with Jim Massa, each word separated by an underscore, and becoming a patron. It's asking for as little as $3 a month, cost of a cup of coffee, to support the work I do and keep my informative videos coming your way. Thank you for your support.